People have asked whether you can do the whole grain breads outside on the grill. You can see the grill through the window here. We are going to go out to it in just a minute. This is a 100% whole grain dough. I've used a variation with some honey in it because kids really like it, and frankly I really like it too. And I'm going to make a flatbread, a pita bread, but not a puffed kind. First of all, the whole grains don't puff that well, and second of all, they don't puff that well on lower temperatures, which is what you need if you're going to do a honey sweetened loaf out on the grill. And I am going to use a stone, but first let's roll it out. Before I roll it out, I want to talk to you about a little email I wrote to Michelle Obama, because I know she's interested in childhood obesity, and she's got a Let's Move campaign. And I suggested that maybe the Let's Move campaign ought to have kids making breads just like this. And I got back this email, and it couldn't be so, but I'm afraid it's a form letter. So what I could read you this, but it's not that exciting. I'm hoping, well, I'm pretty sure actually, that Michelle is watching this video right now. I'd love to roll this out, but I have to go get a rolling pin, so I'll see you in a second. So we're back. I've got two rolling pins, the better to threaten. This is a traditional American rolling pin. I used to use it quite a lot. I've sort of fallen in love with these French milled rolling pins that don't have handles. Once you get used to them, they're really quick. Either one is fine. I take a lump of dough here. This is 100% whole grain dough, and it does in fact break off pretty easily. You don't have a lot of trouble getting that to break off. And I don't cloak it very much. I do in fact just kind of dust it with flour, and I use my fingers to flatten it evenly. It doesn't have resiliency of white dough, does it? That's okay. Resiliency isn't the name of the game. This is about using whole grains, and it is very helpful to have a dough scraper rather than get this stuck every 2 seconds. If it gets stuck too much, there'll be a tendency for you to use too much flour. And I don't want you to use a lot of flour and dry out the dough, because then it's going to be like traditional dough. I don't want that. One of the things I like to do on pita is I like to use sesame seeds, but I don't usually like to spill the water. We'll fix that up later on. Through the magic of video, or we'll leave it because it's even funnier. So get under there with the dough scraper. The water is spreading in an artful and dramatic way. I don't know if the videographer can get that. Maybe it's not necessary. If you like to, I like to, drop it from hand to hand. By the way, this is exactly the same process I would use to make pizza as pita, the Middle Eastern flatbread. I may decide to roll this one more time. And I don't get all upset if there's little creases in it, right? It's not worth worrying about. It's just food, right? Okay, Michelle, now, you can be doing this at home with Sasha and Malia. And I would be happy, I would be more than happy to come over to the White House and show the kids how to do this, because my kids do it. Isn't that true? Just asking the videographer. And they love it. I'll see you in a moment after I refill this trusty water. We're back, and I put some more water in here, which is good because I'll need a little bit. Whenever you're doing pita or pizza, make sure it's moving on the peel, because when you get to where you're going, if it's not moving here, it's not going to go there either. So I have this puddle of water sitting around. I paint a little bit of water. Now in our first book we used cornstarch wash to stick seeds onto things. And in the second book, those of you who have healthy bread in 5 minutes a day, no, we dropped that, because it turns out you don't need it. We started testing. We're always testing with one simplification more than we had thought of. Water works just as well for sticking these kinds of lightweight seeds. These are sesame seeds. And they really, really, I think they jazz up the flavor of whole grain breads. Okay, so it's done. It's moving. Let's go outside and stick it on the grill. Okay, so come out, and it's 350 degrees Fahrenheit, around 177 degrees Celsius. Come out. This has been preheating for about a half hour. I used the half-inch thick stones exclusively, and in particular outside on the grill. By the way, none of the manufacturers probably will be that thrilled about throwing them on a gas grill. This is a Weber Genesis A. They don't make that one anymore. We have one on the website that they still do make. Hey, that stuck a little bit. That's fun. Okay, let's cut a minute and let me show them what to do if it sticks. Okay, you can see that there's water that dripped onto this board. And so there's also stuff coming out of the tree. You come under it like that. Get under it with flour and get it back to the point where it's moving well. Don't flip it onto the ground. Come around to that side. And now we're going to flip it right into the stone. I sometimes stretch a little bit like that to thin it out. And that at 350, that's going to go about 7.5 minutes before we even check it, unless you smell smoke or see smoke. So, okay, well, we hope it's not burned. Let's have a look. That looks pretty good, actually. Let's get under it. Make sure there's not much scorching. I do turn these so that the side with the sesame seeds, it's okay. I would check this in 3 minutes, and so we'll come back. Okay, it's gotten even sunnier and hotter out here. Michelle, Sasha, Malia, it's a really good thing we're baking out here on the White House lawn. Okay, let's see that we didn't burn the top side. That looks pretty good. I'd say it needs another couple minutes. So that was 7 on the first side, 3 on the second side, another 2. I think it'll be 7 and 5. Let's come back in 2 minutes. Okay, so we had 7 minutes on the first side, turned it for 3, then another 2, and that's good. There's a little bit of scorching, but it's nothing bad. So we're going to take this inside and have some fabulous 100% whole grain pita flatbread. This is a Turkish or Greek style. It doesn't rise into a puff. So let's go in and do that and put some butter on it or something. Now I have some really elegantly food-style butter here. Now don't get too close to that. That was all the butter we had in the house. So we are going to eat this hot. Oh, it's pretty hot. Pita bread you can get away with eating hot. We always say don't cut into a loaf bread. The inside's going to be soggy. Never going to be the case with this because it's so short. So this is your chance to, again, we have the elegant butter. Perfectly food style. This could be on the Food Network. Well, when you're trying to appeal to LetsMove.gov, which is Michelle Obama's website. Oh well. Okay. So we're going to melt some butter on there. Scrape out the excess. Oh, this is Door County sour cherry jam. It's homemade from the first book, and we just picked up some cherries in Door County. And I'm going to link to the recipe for this jam. It's absolutely fantastic. And if you want to step back a little bit, just get the taste. It's fantastic. It's one of the best things I've ever eaten. It's a simple pleasure. I'm so sorry. Okay, we're getting ready to wind up. Let me just check on some things over here, and we'll say that's about it. If you have any other questions, we always are going to be on there on the website, and we'll see you there for any questions about whole wheat bread. Thanks.